Jeez, what does he want now? What's up, DV?
Tony, have you seen my keys anywhere?
Your keys? Your keys for what?
My limo.
What limo, DV? What are you talking about?
My space limo. It's the most amazing Star Wars vehicle that Kenner ever made.
Oh really? What's so great about this space limo?
It's impressive. Most impressive.
DV, what does that even mean?
Well, it's quite large, and it's massive, and, big, and girthsome, and sizable.
Size matters not, DV.
Codswallop. It's far superior to that tiny shuttle in your puny mitts.
Hey, at least I've got hands.
I've got to stop walking into those.
And didn't Luke use that shuttle to carry your dead body to Endor?
So? So what?
So is it a space limo or a space hearse?
Enough with this nonsense, Tony. Where are my keys?
What makes you think I'd know where your keys are?
Well, you did steal my arms, and you took them all the way to Australia, a fake nation founded by criminals.
You know that was a mistake, DV. I returned them the following year and I've apologised. Now can we please move past this?
Tell me where the keys are, dammit. Dengar and I want to go for a ride in my magnificent space limo.
Dengar?
Yes, Dengar, the kind of friend who won't ask a single question and help you hide the body. Unlike 4LOM, that piece of shit. Anyway, Dengar's a great guy.
Look, DV, for the last time, I don't know where your keys are. Why don't you go and ask Michael?
Ha! That half-witted, scruffy-looking... No! Quarter-witted, emaciated-looking nerve herder. I suppose he might know.
Yeah, bye, DV.
Shuttle Tidarium requesting deactivation of the deflector shield.
In the online knitting circles of vintage Star Wars collector forums and Facebook groups, you'll often see die-hard fans singing the praises of Kenner's Imperial Shuttle. Released toward the end of the original Star Wars toy line, this plastic behemoth is the largest vehicle that Kenner ever produced. And while I admit that it looks beautiful and it certainly makes for a great display piece, is it really the amazing toy that all these collectors claim it to be? In the opening scene of Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader travels to the second Death Star aboard an Imperial Shuttle, a multi-purpose transport with a trihedral wing design, where the lower wings fold upward for landing. This shuttle was an all-new design, created by Lucasfilm for the third and final film in the original trilogy, with these ships being used in the movie by both the Empire and the Rebels. Now, before anyone comes at me with a gotcha comment saying the Imperial Shuttle actually first appeared in The Empire Strikes Back, that didn't happen until George Lucas retconned the spacecraft into the special edition version of the film in 1997. So step away from the keyboard and treat yourself to another Pop-Tart.
I'm endangering the mission. I shouldn't have come.
Throughout the Star Wars cinematic universe, the different spaceships and vehicles became characters unto themselves, and Kenner made sure to turn all the key players into toys. So with the Imperial Shuttle being the most prominent new vessel to feature in Return of the Jedi, it must have been right at the top of Kenner's to-do list. Yet they didn't release the full-size version of the toy to coincide with the release of the film in 1983. They instead made somewhat of a practice run by creating a similar looking mini-rig. The ISP-6 came with two movable wings to simulate the ship's landing and takeoff positions. And this toy was clearly designed to emulate the Imperial Shuttle seen in the film. Anyone attempting to dispute that fact just needs to read the name on the box, with the initial standing for Imperial Shuttle Pod. While the vast majority of Kenner's Star Wars spaceships were underscale representations of the vehicles seen in the movies, at least you could fit both a pilot and a co-pilot into the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. Yet Vader is forced to ride solo when he is piloting the ISP-6. It's like a 3 3/4 inch version of a Star Wars ride-on toy. For any child who was really hoping to get their hands on an Imperial Shuttle toy that could ferry the Rebel strike team to Endor, this tiny mini-rig would have been quite the disappointment.
Size matters not. Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you?
Then in 1984, Kenner poured all of their engineering skills into the largest Star Wars vehicle they ever made. The Imperial Shuttle towers over the AT-AT, even with the wings folded up in the landing position, and it made the Millennium Falcon look far more underscale than it already was. But despite what the internet might have told you, size doesn't always matter. Back in 2020, I published a video where I ranked the top 10 vintage Star Wars vehicles, and the Imperial Shuttle never made it onto the list. That's because I placed a lot of emphasis on each toy's playability, and it's the reason why even the speeder bike made it into the top 5. This toy provided us with hours of entertainment in childhood, thanks to its exploding play feature. And yet a horde of Imperial Shuttle devotees expressed their shock and anger in the comments section because their trophy wife of a toy wasn't included in the video.
Imperial Shuttle, action figures sold separately from Kenner's Star Wars Return of the Jedi collection.
The main play feature of this toy is the wings that can be manually lowered by pressing a trigger located on the forward landing gear. While this function was brilliantly engineered, it came at a cost, as several of the mechanism's components became common failure points, and it can be quite challenging to find a vintage example today that doesn't come with at least a few broken parts. Fortunately, some very industrious collectors have developed an ingenious 3D printed repair kit, so you can get your Imperial Shuttle's wings back to full working order. This is a prime case of the fans doing the best work, and apparently there's a really good YouTube channel out there that coined that phrase, but I have no idea who they are.
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out. I was about to clear them.
With the wings deployed in flight mode, the Imperial Shuttle is a whopping 18 inches tall and over 2 feet wide. Yet it's virtually nothing but wing, with barely any play area. And good flipping luck trying to get it through a doorway without crashing. Unlike the Kenner TIE Fighters, which can comfortably stand upright on their wings, the Imperial Shuttle can't be sat on the lower foils without them wanting to naturally fold back upwards. So if you want to display the toy in this fashion, you'll have to jerry-rig a display stand to support the underside of the fuselage. However, Kenner designed this toy to be flown around by a child, with them holding onto the forward landing gear and resting the main body of the shuttle on their forearm. But this plastic monstrosity weighs almost 3.5 pounds. So how a child was supposed to fly this around for more than a few minutes without getting a cramp is beyond me.
I don't know how much longer I can hold this.
Kenner gave the Imperial Shuttle 3 struts for it to stand upon when landed, yet only 2 of them can be retracted. This is because a child was supposed to hold the 3rd landing gear when the ship is in flight mode. A kid could also fly the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy in the same way, yet all 3 of the Falcon's landing struts can be retracted, leaving the Imperial Shuttle with a serious case of
with this donkey's dick swinging in front of their face. It's hilarious.
The Imperial Shuttle comes with a loading ramp situated beneath the main cockpit, which can be lowered then extended, in a vague attempt to allow access to the ship's interior. But this feature is mere window dressing, since the figures can barely fit through the opening. In fact, this ramp is better scaled to Lego minifigs than 3 3/4 inch scaled Star Wars characters. While some people will try to excuse this flaw by saying that Kenner's vehicles were never made to scale, we've already established that the Imperial Shuttle made the Millennium Falcon appear even more undersized than it already was. Yet that toy included an opening ramp, which your figures can easily fit through. So the scale argument holds zero credibility in this case.
Okay, listen up, men. We have a small opening on our scanning crew. Anyone want the job?
Oh, pick me, I'll do it.
You can't be serious. I said a small opening, and you're taller than a stormtrooper.
How small of an opening are we talking about?
Apparently, we're supposed to be able to walk through there. I don't know. I didn't design it. I just work here.
Well, none of us are going to fit through there.
Come on, men. Think. Who can we send?
Pork Bone McGillicuddy reporting for duty.
The cockpit can be accessed via an opening canopy that hinges forward, and inside you'll find a series of stickers that give the control panels some visual interest. There is also seating for 2 action figures, although the openings where their feet are supposed to go are quite small. So if you want to replicate the packaging photography by placing one of the Emperor's Royal Guards in the co-pilot seat, you'll need to wrap their robes tightly around their legs to get them to fit. On the other hand, if you place a slimmer figure in the cockpit, they won't sit with their back against the seat, because the steep angle of the shuttle's nose sees them continually slide down into the footwell.
Jonathan, help me, mate. I can't get a grip. Hold it, I'll clench me back muscles. Hold on. Carry on.
Yet the issues with the loading ramp, the slippery seats and the donkey deck all pale in comparison to the most boneheaded design decision inflicted upon this toy. Kenner has incorporated an open panel feature to allow access to the shuttle's interior. But when the ship's foils are in the landing position, this panel is hidden behind one of the wings.
It's a trap!
So in order for a child to play with their figures inside the main compartment, the Imperial Shuttle needs to have its wings splayed out on the ground, like the outstretched arms of an exhausted marathon runner collapsing at the finish line. The reverse side of the access panel should also feature a quite large sticker, even though some of Kenner's advertising material shows this sticker detail applied to the outside. Protruding up from the main floor of the interior are 3 foot pegs, but you'll want to ensure that you don't place any taller figures in here, as even Darth Vader can't stand up inside without hunching over, and it's his damn shuttle. Compounding the frustration of having this access area hidden behind one of the wings is the fact that it's next to impossible to play with your figures once they're inside the ship. The removable roof section on the Millennium Falcon gave children ample room to play with their Star Wars characters. Yet given the way this area has been designed on the Imperial Shuttle, it creates an experience that feels like you're slipping your figures into a mailbox in the vain hope that they'll have a nice time while trapped on the inside. Giving the Imperial Shuttle its finishing touches, there are movable laser cannons attached to each of the wings, further armaments affixed to either side of the fuselage, and a pair of rear-facing laser barrels. Located just below these rearward cannons is a wide opening hatch that houses the battery compartment, with the Imperial Shuttle being equipped with those really irritating laser battle sounds that had previously been issued to many other Kenner Star Wars vehicles. While some commenters have suggested that this sound effect is supposed to represent the noise of the engine, Kenner never got that memo, as the packaging clearly indicates otherwise. Even though they called this toy the Imperial Shuttle, I often hear people referring to it as Shuttle Tidarium.
We have stolen a small Imperial Shuttle.
Quick side note, has anyone ever noticed General Maydean's beard in this scene? It looks more fake than
Buck, Dirk Allah.
According to Star Wars lore, Shuttle Tidarium was stolen by 9 Num, and this was the ship that the Rebels used to transport their strike team to the forest moon of Endor.
Pruneface, what are you doing here? But I thought you were one of Jabba's goons. Well, slap my hide and call me Shirley. Come on, old chum. Let's go kick some Imperial backside. Yeehaw!
While this vehicle certainly could stand in for Shuttle Tidarium, several other versions of the ship were used in the film's narrative. Vader had his personal shuttle, the Rebels had the stolen Shuttle Tidarium, and the Emperor's ship was notable for having a grey stripe running down the nose of the craft. This toy could be any one of those 3 shuttles, and Kenner designed the packaging to replicate the Emperor's arrival at the second Death Star. With scores of Imperial troops shown in this photo, the box was sending a subliminal message, telling kids to ask for hundreds of Imperial Guards for Christmas. And if you have enough action figures in your collection, it can be a fun exercise to set up a similar scenario. This is another example of the toy being a great display piece, but not a very interactive play experience. Despite this, Kenner Star Wars diehards continue to pour adulation over the Imperial Shuttle. Yet I'm not surprised, as this wouldn't be the first time that boys lusted after something just because of its size, not realising they wouldn't actually know what the hell to do with it if they ever copped a handful.
I can't. It's too big.
Bigger doesn't always mean better. Just ask the passengers aboard the Titanic. The Imperial Shuttle is a trophy wife of a toy, a showpiece that looks great but is lousy at playtime. And with this realisation, hindsight became very kind to the ISP-6, as once we got our hands on the actual shuttle, the mini-rig became the far more enjoyable toy to play with. Kenner shot for the forest moon on this one, but ended up choking on their aspirations.
Michael, are you in here? Michael? Hello? Good God, this room is in a shambles. It's like I'm living in a bad neighborhood. You better not be hiding. Did you know Tony is uploading videos to your channel now? He's going to take over. The British are coming. You'd better come out. Who am I kidding? He's probably making another Indiana Jones video.